I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
It looks something like this.
So tip number 3 is battery checking. Batteries are our sole source of power for our drone, and if they fail, then our drone fails and we come crashing to the ground. Intelligent batteries such as these for the Mavic or these for the Inspire, they're very easy to check and they now even alert you to any issues. So when we're checking our batteries, we want to check for any damage. When we're charging them, we want to make sure that they are charging fully, and then when they are charged, we then want to check that they're holding their charge equally across all of the cells within. So another really important thing we want to check is any signs of puffing, what we call puffing. So when a battery, one of the cells start to fail, they will start to puff out. So this one, for example, you can see here, that's puffing out. Hold it against a good battery, that's what it should look like, and that's gone bad, so we wouldn't fly with that one. It happens a bit less often in intelligent batteries because they start to manage themselves. They've got a small computer inside, so they manage themselves. If they notice that, they'll alert you and they can sort of try and figure it out themselves. On typical LiPo batteries, we can use a LiPo battery checker. We simply plug that into the connector, and that's going to tell us the voltage across all of the cells, the maximum, the minimum. It's going to give us a bit of a general health check on the battery. Now we can't obviously do that on an intelligent battery, they don't have those same connectors. So within these, we'd go into the app. Within the app, it's going to tell us very similar information. So in an intelligent battery, such as this in the Mavic, to check that it's fully charged, the cells are all equal and they're holding a level charge, we just do this within the app. So in here, we've got our Mavic powered up behind us, and we'll go through this now. So this is if you've got a DJI drone, you'll be used to this screen. So to check the battery, you hit the battery icon at the top here, and it will load up on this screen. So on here, it's going to tell you a few bits of information. It's going to tell you the total voltage, it's going to tell you the temperature. It's also got these 4 green charts here. These are your total cell voltage. When looking at these, we want to make sure that these are all very similar, if not the same. So here we've got 4.20, 4.20, 4.19, 4.19. These are all pretty much equal, so this battery is fine, there's no problems here. If one of these was drastically lower, then that cell has an issue. We'd want to check that out. We wouldn't want to fly with that battery. So if you notice one of the cells is drastically lower on your intelligent batteries, what we want to do is try and discharge the battery. Don't fly with it, but try and discharge the battery. Get it to 10-15%, then recharge it fully. Hopefully that would then equal out that cell. If it does, make sure that they're all very similar on the chart. If you're happy with it, go and have a test flight somewhere open and safe in case you do have an issue. But we want to just try and level those cells off. If after charging it, this cell isn't fully charged and it isn't equal across the other 3, then we wouldn't fly with this battery. We'd put that to the side. Now I think these come with a 6 or 12-month warranty, so DJI might replace that for you, but do not fly with it. So then, just to finish off on intelligent batteries, we just want to have a look over them, make sure that the connectors here are all clear, there's no dirt in there, there's nothing in there that's going to cause any issues with contact. We just want to make sure that when we put it into the drone, it clips in tightly, it's not going to pop out. Generally just give it a bit of a health check, make sure it's all good to go, and if so, you're good to fly. So just to wrap up on this, before you fly, make sure you are checking your batteries, make sure you're making sure that your cells are all level. If you've got the app, go into the app, make sure you have a look at those charts. If you're flying with LiPos, check them on a battery checker. Make sure that the batteries are good to go and you're going to get your drone back safely. Now, one final thing to be aware of with batteries is that they can be affected by extreme temperatures. So that's hot or cold. If we're flying in the cold, it's winter, it might be snowing outside, it's going to have a big effect on our batteries. Ultimately, it's going to reduce our flight times quite drastically. Equally, in hotter temperatures, our batteries, they heat up as we're flying, as we're using them. So if we're flying and it's very hot, they might overheat, and again, we might have a problem with that. So if you are flying in winter, if you're flying in a cold location, keep your battery in an internal jacket pocket, keep it warm. We want to try and make sure the battery's core is warm before we start to fly with it. You can buy a battery warmer. So for the Inspire, we've got a battery warmer. Slide that in, you power the battery up, and then it just uses a small amount of power to get the battery warm. Now equally, if you've got a Mavic, you can put that in a jacket pocket, you can take it out if you're driving somewhere, you've got a nice warm car, keep your batteries out, get the temperature of the battery up before you fly with it. If you are flying with a DJI drone and using DJI batteries, the app will alert you if the battery is under 15 degrees. So you want to warm up the battery. Once it's warm, generally I'll put it in the drone, power the drone up, then take off, do a little hover for 30 seconds a minute. That's just going to raise the core temperature of the battery. Once you've got a nice temperature in the battery, you can then go off flying. Now if you are flying in a hot environment, just keep your batteries out of direct sunlight. Keep them in a rucksack, in a bag, somewhere cooler that isn't going to heat up. We want to make sure that our batteries aren't going to overheat whilst we're flying with them. For DJI batteries, the safe operating temperature is between -10 degrees and +40 degrees. If you're flying outside of those, then obviously fly with extreme care. If you're flying within, then make sure the battery is warm, or if it's hot, then try and keep the battery cooler and out of direct sunlight. Intelligent batteries will give you an estimated flight time on the app. It's going to tell you how much time you have left flying, depending on your flying conditions. They're also very clever in that if they're left for a long time without flying, they'll automatically discharge themselves to a safe storage voltage. Equally with a LiPo, that won't do that. So if we're storing it for 3 months, 6 months, we want to discharge that to around 50%, and then it's safe to store. So throughout this lesson, I've been referring a lot to DJI batteries because ultimately that's what we fly DJI drones. If you don't fly a DJI drone, then make sure you read your instruction owner's manual, and that's going to tell you the exact specifics for your battery and for your system. Ultimately, just looking after our batteries and maintaining them properly is going to make sure that they're in good condition, they're going to give us longer lives, we're going to be able to fly with them longer, and we're not going to need to replace them as often. Just remember that our batteries are our drone's only source of power, so look after them carefully.